Today, we're diving into an absolute masterpiece of Hindi literature from the one and only Munshi Premchand. The story is called Aakhiri Manzil, which translates to The Final Destination. And let me tell you, it's this incredibly powerful story about memory, about a kind of love that goes way beyond the physical, and, well, it's all centered on one fateful, stormy journey that completely changes everything.
So the story kicks off with this really heavy sense of emptiness. The very first line is, 3 years have passed today. You can just feel the weight in those words. Our narrator is standing in a place that should be familiar, the same house, the same garden, but for him, it's all hollow now. The joy has just evaporated. It's clear that even after 3 whole years, he's completely lost in the echo of a world that just vanished, the moment the woman he loved was gone.
All right, so to really get a grip on just how deep his loss is, we've got to understand the woman at the very heart of this story. Her name was Mohini. And believe me, she was not your ordinary person. Her presence, the way she loved, her whole philosophy on life, that's really the soul of this entire tale.
The way our narrator talks about Mohini's love, it's almost like he's describing something divine. He says it was hard to just love her in the normal sense. It was more like she was meant to be worshipped. This wasn't about big, passionate gestures. It was this quiet, deeply spiritual connection that you could just feel radiating from her. It's like he felt she could see right past all his flaws, and that kind of pure, overwhelming affection, it just left him totally, completely bewildered.
And this right here, this distinction is absolutely central to who Mohini was. She drew this really clear line between prem, which is true, deep love, and vasana, which is more about lust or just a fleeting desire. So for her, true love was this spiritual thing, something that lasts, something that could even find joy when you're apart. Desire, on the other hand, that was just a physical thing, something that comes and goes.
She actually tells the narrator, union is the beginning of love, not its end. I mean, think about that for a second. That one sentence, it basically sums up her entire philosophy. For Mohini, the journey of love was the whole point. The destination, getting together, that wasn't the end goal. It was just a new beginning. And you really need to hold on to that idea because it's absolutely crucial for what's about to happen.
Okay, so now we get to it. The evening that changed absolutely everything. And in this part of the story, the setting itself is almost like a character. It's this stormy, super emotional landscape that perfectly mirrors the chaos that's about to unfold. And this is where we meet the story's most important symbol.
So picture this, right? The narrator and Mohini are just sitting by the river as the sun goes down. The sky is getting dark with these clouds the narrator calls intoxicating. What a great word. The Ganga River is all swollen and just raging, and then they see it. A single tiny lamp, a diya, just floating on that wild water. Just this one little point of light in all that stormy darkness. And Mohini, she is completely mesmerized by it.
And what happens next is this totally impulsive, almost mystical chase. Mohini just becomes obsessed with this little lamp. She feels this strange, powerful pull towards it, like she has to see where it's going. So she decides right then and there that they have to follow it. And just like that, she pulls our poor narrator into a quest that's as dangerous as it is mysterious.
And let's be clear, the danger here is off the charts. They find this tiny, rickety boat and just push out onto this raging river. In the middle of a storm, the wind is howling, huge waves are crashing over the sides, and chunks of the riverbank are literally collapsing into the water all around them. It's terrifying. But while the narrator is, completely gripped by fear, Mohini is just calm, totally serene. Her eyes are just locked on that little flickering flame in the distance.
And then, right in the middle of all this chaos, Mohini starts to sing. And it's this hauntingly beautiful song. The words are, "I go to meet my beloved." And her voice is just filled with this painful but sweet longing. It's so powerful that the narrator feels like the song completely transforms the whole scene. It's as if the wind, the waves, even the trees on the shore are suddenly rushing to meet their own beloved too.
I mean, that really makes you stop and think, doesn't it? That song, it's not just about meeting a person, is it? It's hinting at something so much deeper. Is this whole dangerous trip really just to follow a lamp? Or is this actually about something bigger, like the soul's journey towards some kind of final divine meeting?
So this strange, mystical journey, it's all building to the story's heartbreaking climax. They've been chasing this lamp for what feels like forever, and now they're watching as it finally gets close to its inevitable end.
Our narrator is just watching the lamp, and he can see its light getting weaker and weaker.
Its fuel, its very life force is just running out. That tiny little flame that fought so bravely against the wind and the waves, it's starting to give up.
And then, the final moment arrives. The narrator describes how the lamp, right before it goes out, gives one last bright flicker. It's like this final burst of energy, one last act of defiance against all that darkness.
And went out. Just like that. Gone. The light just vanishes into the darkness, like a single drop of water disappearing into the whole river. The journey is over. And in that heavy, profound silence, everything just clicks for the narrator. He has this sudden, absolutely crushing realization. He finally gets it all. Mohini's obsession with the lamp, her song, that deep sadness in her eyes. He understands that the lamp was never, ever just a lamp. It was a metaphor, wasn't it? A metaphor for the soul's journey through all the storms of life, always striving, always fighting, only to reach its final destination, which is just to be extinguished.
But hold on, the story doesn't actually end there on the river. That night becomes a massive turning point. Really, it marks the beginning of the end for Mohini, and it connects her fate directly to that little lamp she so desperately followed.
It's heartbreaking. From the very next day, Mohini is a completely different person. Her face is pale, and her smile, well, the narrator says her smile is gone forever. She just withdraws into herself, and she starts writing all this poetry that's just filled with this unbearable sadness. It's almost like a piece of her soul was taken by the river that night. And after that, she just slowly fades away, leaving our narrator completely alone, haunted by that one memory.
So let's circle back. What did that lamp really symbolize? Well, for Mohini and eventually for our narrator, it was everything. It was the human soul trying to make its way through the stormy river of life. It was hope trying to shine in the face of darkness. And maybe most of all, it was a reflection of her own wild, untamed spirit, always searching for its final destination.
And this is the huge, haunting question that the narrator, and through him, Premchand, leaves us with. After all that struggle, all that fighting against the storm and the waves, was this it? Was this empty darkness really the final destination? It's such a profound question, really. It's about life. It's about purpose. And it makes you wonder what's waiting at the end of all of our journeys, too.
Munshi Premchand had this incredible gift for finding these huge, profound ideas in the simplest things. And this story is just a perfect example of his genius. Wow. If this journey into the heart of literature moved you, we'd love it if you'd follow our channel for more explorations like this. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you on the next one.